Blend. I am your host, Tilton. Well, The Blend, I love speaking with legends in the entertainment industry, and today is absolutely no different. As a matter of fact, today may be slightly different because this legend that's coming, that I'll be interviewing, that was a myth. This legend that's coming, that I'll be interviewing, is actually coming to Memphis, Tennessee. She's going to be in our city, you guys, this Friday, but I will tell you more about that a little bit later. Let me give you a little insight on who she is. She's talented, she's beautiful, she's a musician, she's an actress, she's a producer, a philanthropist, a mother. She's been in the industry for about 20 years, and she's best known for somebody who said, "You need to love it." His wife in all of the Barbershop series. I'm going to welcome right now the beautiful and talented Miss Jazsmin Lewis. Welcome to The Blend, Jazsmin. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. So glad to have you with me, and I'm going to find out down there. There we are. Bam. Well, how you been? Because we have been trying to get this interview for a while, and there was an issue with your power in LA. You're in LA, right?
I am, yes. I am in LA, and I'm kind of in the hills. So, we have high winds and power outages. And on the day of our interview, of course, that's what happened to me. So, but I'm happy to be here now.
I know. So happy to have you here now. Well, lady, speaking of LA, again, I know that's where you live and where you're where you live now. But you are from Ohio.
I am. I'm from right outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I'm from actually Lorraine. So, yeah. Midwestern.
What was that like growing up? Because I don't think I know anyone in their heels, as they say down south. I don't know anyone from there.
It was good. It's where I'm from, because it's outside of Cleveland, it's not the city. So, we had an acre behind our house. I had my horses in the backyard. It was, running around all day. It's not as contained and confined as being in a city or a big city, you know what I mean? So everybody in the neighborhood was everybody, So, we were very close, and half of my family's still there. So I don't get back as much as I'd like to, but I get back.
You are a black woman working. That's what I call it. Like WW. Yes, and it's okay. What am I trying to say? Like the gift that you have, it needs to be shared. And we're grateful that you are sharing that gift with the world. As a matter of fact, like your journey in this entire entertainment industry started approximately, to my understanding, about 20 years ago. However, when you were little bitty, you first started out on the piano, right? Am I correct? If you were like 2, 3, something like that?
On piano, yeah. I was a musician. My dad was a musician, not professional. And so music was always really important to my mom and my dad. And me and my sisters, we all had to play very, very young. So, they are doctors, my mom and dad. And I wanted to be a doctor, but, it was just music for me. And it became natural and it became easy for me. And it was something that I loved. So I never really intended to have a career in it.
You didn't?
Because I started as a bass player, I was a commodity.
Yeah, I saw that.
Art. Yeah. So, I got to, I toured as a bass player for a lot of years, before I was an actor. So, since I was 14.
Yeah, and a professional drummer.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I don't say I'm a drummer. I play the drums because my uncle he was a professional jazz drummer. Yeah, he was amazing. He was quite the legend. But so he taught me drums early, and so I can play everything. I toured as a bass player.
Well, I'm somewhat stumped as to how or when the transition from a musician occurred, and then you transitioned into this, you know what, I think I want to be on the screen, I want to be on pictures, I want to be an actor.
I never said that. Never happened. So how it happened, brief. The short version of it is I was on tour, I think at the time, with Roger Troutman and Zach. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it was. And I had been, touring off and on since a young teenager. And I woke up in the middle of the night on a tour bus. And, how you wake up startled? And I just kind of sat up, and I didn't know what city I was in, what group I was with. I just felt I was a mess. And I said, because I had not taken a year off. I hadn't taken any time off between tours. So I said to myself, I think I need a break because this is working for me right now. Okay. And I came home and I said, well, I have a degree. My degree is in music. So I said, what else can I do? And I'd never had like a conventional, like a 9-to-5 job before. So I said, well, what else can I do? I'm going to be an actor. And at the time, I didn't know any actors. So no one ever said, you don't just say, I'm going to be an actor, and then you are.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you. They say ignorance is bliss. So, so no one said you can't just do that. So I was helping a friend of mine. He was a little boy. His mother was a manager. He's an actor. But I was helping him with his record at the time. I was playing on it. And I went to his mom and I said, I know you manage your son as an actor, so I want you to manage me too. She happened to live down the street from me. And she said, well, have you ever done any acting? I said, yeah, in school plays. So she was like, well, why don't you come over? Right. I'm like, you can't do that. So she said, come over and read for me. And I went down that day and I read some sides for her. And she said, okay, I'm going to manage you. And the very next day, she had a meeting set up for me with an agent. And it was just, not an agency. It was like one guy and one phone and one office. And I don't know what kind of clients he had. I had no headshot.
Just one. That's all it takes.
Literally, I read for him that next day. He took me on. The following day, so now we're at day 3, he had an audition for me for Martin. It was only one line, but he said, you're going to go in there and you're going to read this line and you're going to come back. I said, okay. And of course I get in there and, everyone's got their headshots and their resumes and I had a dress and me. And I went in and I read it and I came home. And that night my manager called me and she said, you booked it. And I said, booked what? What are you talking about? I didn't know she was talking about.
You didn't know the terminology, huh?
I didn't know any of the terminology. She said, remember the audition you went on a few hours ago? I said, oh yeah. She said, you got the job. And I said, what? Okay. Later that I was on the set of Martin, and from that day, I got my first series regular. Good news. Not news. I can't remember what it was now. Just about 7 or 8 months later. So I didn't stop working, and it's been 28 years now.
Yeah. Look at you.
Long time.
Very successful woman. Awesome. And I kind of want to revisit the Martin gig because I'd like to know, like, what was it like working with what was it like on set? And on top of that, like, that was your very first time in the
on a TV set.
Yeah. So what was it like for you, and what did you see on set?
Don't just count school plays.
Sure.
I did school plays. I did all of them. No, but yeah, on TV, that was it.
Were you nervous?
What'd you say?
Were you nervous? Like, what were you thinking? Or were you like, yes, I belong here. This is my new era?
Yeah, I wasn't nervous, but if you remember, I'm a performer. So being on stage and in front of people and having to do something, that was my job. So fortunately, I'm grateful that I wasn't nervous. It was just intriguing to me. It was interesting. I learned so much from that set. I learned set etiquette because a lot of people start out as extras or whatever, so they get to stand on set and see what you do and what you don't do. I never had that experience. So just having that one line, I really could have come in on Thursday when we were taping on Friday, did my one line and left. But I came in on Monday and went through their process with everyone because I wanted to learn. What do you do? What do you not do? When do you leave set? What is set etiquette? What does it mean? You know, what are these positions and that position and, you know, all of those things like that. So I wanted to take it all in. So I was really part of the process, but I learned a lot, and I learned a lot from veterans that were there.
How long after that were you booked for the Wayans Brothers, Saved by the Bell, Eve, Living Single, several sitcoms?
Every week I had a different job. Martin was the first, but I didn't stop working. Every time I auditioned, thank God it doesn't work that way now, but I booked something. So I was constantly growing as an actor and learning in the process, during the process.
Growing indeed, because you left, or should I say, you grew from the sitcoms to movies. And so now you're in movies. Was that a desire of yours, or how did that come about?
I loved TV because you got to experience, you know, back then they did one episode a week. So you went from Monday and you worked all the way till Friday and you taped live audience on Friday. It's not this way anymore. You know, that was the 90s. So movies was a very different animal. And I wanted to learn all aspects of it. So yeah, I did How to Be a Player in 1996. So just 2 years after. So it was a different experience. You know, a movie set is a very different experience. But you know, a lot of people there that were booked, I knew they had become friends of mine. So it was a comfortable environment. But it was a different animal, and I don't prefer one over the other. I like both for different reasons. You know.
How did you feel? Because you also, again, great accomplishment. You also were the first African-American actress to play a title character in Tracy Townsend. Yeah.
Townsend. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you land that, and how did you feel?
You know, I was when I got Tracy Townsend, I had come off of, I don't remember what, but it was a movie, and I was already actually on another show. So, you know, people book who they see, who they know. So I was working a lot, and I really wanted to do it. And because I was doing studio films at the time, like, you know, bigger movies, because Tracy Townsend was an independent movie that turned into a bigger movie, but it was started out very small. And I remember the agent that I was with at the time, a big agency. I had transitioned to a much, much larger agency. They didn't want me to do it. They were like, it's too small for you, you're going in the wrong direction. I remember my point agent called me into his office and said, if you take this movie, we're going to drop you. And I said, then you're going to have to drop me because I want to do this movie. And so I did. I walked out. And it's interesting because, of course, they got dropped. They're not going to drop somebody who's making money for them. So I didn't see it as even a real threat. They tried to make a threat, but I was like, well, you go ahead because you don't see what I see. Your vision isn't what my vision is, you know? So I did it, and it changed the trajectory of my career. It really did. And they saw that later, but in the moment they were just, you know, we don't want you to do this. We want you to basically stay on TV and keep making us a lot of money, and don't roll the dice with this independent film. That's what they do.
Don't break our system. Right. Do you feel that taking that particular role opened the door for Barbershop 1, 2, and 3?
I think it opened the door for a lot of things. Barbershop came later, but yeah, it changed. Like I said, it allowed people to see me not as a supporting character. I was the lead. I was the title character. That's right. And I knew that on my resume, with all the work I had amassed, I was still, you know, second, third, fourth lead in a movie, not the lead. And a lot of women of color at the time weren't getting a lot of huge leads. They would be the wife or mistress of the blah, blah, blah guy. Not a lot of movies that were named for that, after that character that they were playing. So this was important to me, you know, for a lot of reasons. And yeah, I think it opened the door for the business and the industry to view me as a leading lady, as opposed to just a supporting character or an ingenue or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gambled on myself.
And you took a great gamble. You know, sometimes you just have to go with that. You got, and that's what I tell the students a lot of times. I'm in a high school, and I tell them, go with your gut, baby. You got to go with that gut feeling. If your gut says yes, go for it. If your gut says no, even though logically it may make sense, no, just no. But back on the Barbershop series, I don't want to like just stand over that as if it's nothing, because that is huge. I mean, it went from Barbershop 1, then 2, then 3. So that first Barbershop, which was just, I mean, I think it just threw that the African-American community into a comedic teaching. But did Ice Cube select you? Like, how did that role come for you when you auditioned? Was you hand selected?
I did. No. I auditioned, and it was interesting because it was during a time, it was 2001, I believe, and I got the call from my agent to go in and audition, and I knew that this was going to be a big movie, bigger than me. That's how I felt. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm not going in on that, because everybody and their brother, there was a pod of us, a group of us that we always saw each other in the room. Women that we all saw each other in the room all the time. So women, all of them wanted it. And I just felt, I don't think I'm ready for this yet, so I'm good. So I was going to pass on the audition, and with my best friend, Kevin Foster, he said, just go in. Who cares? You don't get it, you don't get it. And I was like, okay. Now that night, we had planned to go to dinner, me and him. And we were going to go have seafood. And everybody knows how important food is to me. Everybody. So I was like, no, because it's far away. It's going to be an hour drive to get there. It was, I remember, pouring down raining. And it was at night. So I said, I don't feel like getting out the rain, tap dancing for something I don't even have a shot for, and then get back in the car and then try to go eat. He was like, well, I'll ride with you. Let's just go. And I was like, fine. And I remember, I didn't even make an effort. I didn't put on any makeup. I put on a t-shirt and jeans, and I twisted my hair up on top of my head because it was raining outside. Mm-hmm. I get there, of course, it's dark. So I've never been to this, never off the parking lot to get inside because of the rain, and I didn't have an umbrella. And I walked in, apparently back, and walked in on someone in the middle of this audition. I busted in the room soaking wet, and some girl is standing there auditioning for the producers, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
So I made some kind of ridiculous joke, and I was like, I'll be over here.
Yeah.
I get out of the room.
As they say, the church fingers, you put up the church fingers.
I literally actually did that. I backed out of the room. I'm so sorry. I don't even know how long I waited. But by the time they called me in, I was so like mortified. I just went in and the audition scene was what I now know, a very simple scene. They wanted it done very simple. They didn't want your typical black woman, like, I'm gonna tell my man what he needs to do and what he don't need to do and blah, blah, blah. They didn't want that. But I didn't know that. It doesn't tell you that. It just gives you the dialogue, the words. And I was so defeated that I just went in and I just said it. And I said, thanks guys, I'm out. And me and my best friend, we went to eat. And I didn't hear from them for 2 months. So I assumed I didn't get it. What I found out was I was walking out of another audition and I got a phone call. And it was my agent that said, they want you to take a meeting with Ice Cube about Barbershop. And I was like, from months ago? And they were like, yeah. I said, why? And they were like what you did. He likes your take on it, because you didn't make her this angry black woman.
Yeah.
And I said, I wasn't angry. I was embarrassed. So no, I didn't do that. Right. So, and they said, I remember they said, so it's going to be with just you and Ice Cube at his offices. And I said, I'm not going. I'm scared of Ice Cube, because all I thought was NWA.
Daddy, you need to stop.
I said, absolutely not.
He has not been NWA in years. He has been the Are We There Yet, Daddy?
He ain't done that yet.
He hasn't done that yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So I knew NWA, and I wasn't going. And I said,
especially alone. Right.
And
my agent, how did y'all meet? What happened?
And my agents ended up convincing me, and my agent sent his assistant to wait in the car while I drove there. And I said, if I don't come out, come and get me. I went in. He was the sweetest human being in the world. Gave me the biggest hug. And he was like, I said, why me? Because I know who was in that room. I know who auditioned, and everybody else does too. And he said, because you have the same vision for this couple that I have. And they didn't have anyone else. And I said, hey. And we've had an amazing relationship ever since.
That is so great. I love
it. Barbershop 2. I didn't tell him. He didn't know.
Okay. Well, in addition to all of those accolades, you also own your own production company. So you are doing it, Treeline Entertainment, a new film production company. What are you producing out of there? How does that work? How does that?
I started because I wanted to control my own image, my own destiny, and do something for other women. So my whole production company is all women of color, all of them, which is part of Treeline. But I wanted to make my vision come to life as I saw it, and not just be in someone else's vision, making theirs come to life. Which I appreciate doing. I still do it, obviously, and it's all good. But I had my own ideas and my own vision. So being a producer came really natural to me, and directing as well. So I said I have to figure this out while I'm still working and being around people and learning this craft. And
so let me ask you this: are these films
when I was doing Barbershop 1?
I'm going to ask you this: are these films already? What Happened to My Life and a Road to Recovery? Yeah. Where can we find
Road to Recovery? It's a docuseries. That's something where I'm working on now. But there's a lot. I mean, if you go on my website, you can see, and also in my IMDb, there's a lot of stuff that I've produced. I won an award for a movie I produced called Welcome Matt. I was also in it, but it's about mental health. And
I was going to ask you that too. I'm like, why mental health? And I see that Road to Recovery is a documentary about women of color battling depression. So is there something personal there, or what?
You know what? Welcome Matt is something that they brought me in as an actor, and then realized that I'm also a producer and asked me to produce it with them. So I did. So that wasn't really it was passionate. I was passionate about it because I understood it. But it was just, I was there, so let's get this done as a producer. But as far as Road Recovery is a passion project. It's not personal, like I have not personally experienced forms of depression, but almost every single person I know has, whether it's postpartum, chronic, clinical, bipolar depression. There are so many forms of depression, and I think in the African-American community, or people of color, period, don't talk about it as much. They go to church, pray it away, you're going to be all right, and people end up dying they commit suicide. The suicide rate has gone up 97% in Black women because of depression that was gone undiagnosed. We just had one. She just threw herself off an 80-story building.
Yeah, my husband told me that yesterday, and I wasn't aware of that. That's
She
very
was not
unsettling.
diagnosed. She was undiagnosed. The problem is that white women, I'm not trying to be polarized,
it's fine.
but white women, they'll go to the doctor for a hangnail, which is wonderful because you're going to figure out what's wrong with you. We don't do that. We battle it out. We're strong. We got to figure it out. We got to keep taking care of our family, keep taking care of everybody but ourselves. And people spiral into some form of depression. The reason it goes undiagnosed is because we don't even ask. We don't talk about it. There's no big light on it to say, hey, how are you feeling?
Wow.
So they go undiagnosed, and the next thing you know, somebody's throwing themselves off an 80-story building.
Do you intend to have a forum on this one day, maybe?
I have done some forums on it, but the reason I'm doing the show is going to be shot very much like, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Intervention.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So that's drugs, this is mental health or depression. So I'm going to follow 5 women from not being diagnosed through diagnosis and some form of healing, whether it is therapy, medication, talk therapy, whatever it is. I want to explore all different forms of battling this mental health issue. So people can see, you don't just have to get on a bunch of pills. You're gonna, you know what I mean? There are ways to do it. Now, if that's your path, then that's your path. That's okay. Whatever makes you okay. But there are other ways to do it, and you don't have. There's no shame around it. You have to talk about it so that we can say, we can normalize. I need some help. I'm not feeling great today. I don't want to get out of bed for like a week. You know what I mean?
And that's not okay, right?
And it's not okay. You got to check in.
Thank you. Thank you for opening the doors for our African American sisters to be able to speak their truth and get the necessary healing that they need.
It's okay. It's so we crazy or like there's a stigma on it in this community, and you know that. Oh, you're crazy. Nope.
You're crazy, right?
Absolutely not. You need to talk. You need to figure out what's going on, and so that you can get better. And most women just want to take care of their kids or their family or whatever. You can't do that if you're not okay. You can't do that. So
thank you. Again, thank you so much for that. But on a lighter note, Memphis, Tennessee. You'll be coming to the town, Memphis, Tennessee this Friday. And again, guys, she's going to be, let's talk about the movie while you're coming to Memphis, Tennessee. Because Rip Entertainment Films has a new movie called Queen Angie. And Jazsmin Lewis is a part of that new movie. Can you give us a little bit of information about Queen Angie, about the movie? What's that movie about? We're getting our first sneak peek.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, did you hear me?
Hold on. Okay, there you are. I did now.
Okay.
Aren't you in the movie?
Yeah.
No, I can't give you no sneak peek, but I'll tell you this. I have one peek. One peek. See, I don't like to give anything away. You know what I mean? I want people to come your street, enjoy it like I'm enjoying it as we go. However, what I will say is I'm super excited to work with Robert, Britt Parker, and the rest of the cast. I think it's going to be a new journey for him, because I'm one of those hard-headed actors. You know what I mean? I want to get it perfect, and I want it to be amazing. I haven't told him this yet, so don't tell him.
Your secret safe with me. But you know what? I almost find that difficult to believe, because when I read your bio, I was like, this lady has got to be funny and comedic because she's been in Martin, the Wayans Brothers, Saved by the Bell, Living Single, How to Be a Player, Barbershop. And I said, these are all comedy, a lot of, comedy sequences or comedy situations. And I said, she has got to be hilarious. She's probably comical. So do you not think you're comical?
I made a living doing comedy, a great living. I still do, but there's a lot of stuff that I've done that people don't know as well because I did a TV show called Line of Fire that was on ABC. That's a completely different audience. I played a madam. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and I'm good at it too. Different audience, but somebody got to do it.
What is that?
I did. A lot of drama stuff. It was just more crossover, so it was a different audience than what the sitcoms know me for. So I do both.
Okay. I got you. Well, again, Memphis, Tennessee, and beyond, because we're also broadcasting in Rome and Chattanooga and somewhere else. Now, however, Rome, Georgia. Georgia. Rome, Georgia.
I need to go there. I like that. It sounds good. You in Italy, girl? You too.
Well, we're in Italy on YouTube.
Love that.
So guys, she will be in Memphis, Tennessee on Friday, February 4th.
Talk about salt.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She'll be at SALT. So doing an autograph signing, meet and greet. Just come on out and meet and greet this lady right here. She will be at SALT, and you know where that is. It's on Mendenhall. I don't remember the exact number, numerical address, but Mendenhall. And from 5 until 6, signing autographs, meeting and greeting you guys because you know her. So because you know her, you want to meet her. As you can see, she's a beautiful lady inside and out. So again, that's this Friday at SALT, Memphis, from 5 until 6. Because 4 until 5, the media will be there speaking with you. So we're gonna have
is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. They come up with the news cameras for you. And an hour after that is when the fans will get an opportunity to snap it up with you.
Well, that's what I'm really there for, because I love Memphis. And do you think that maybe we'll get to eat over there? Because I did look it up online. I saw their menu. And I'm really trying to get to that.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I'm a foodie.
You know what? So of course, Christy and I will kind of be your not chauffeurs, but doggone tour guides. And yeah, and we have had SALT food before. Very plenteous and super delicious. And I was like, I'll never drop these pounds over food.
Well, you're going to dinner later. I don't think we need to do that. I think we need to eat right there.
Oh, you do?
You know that,
well,
right?
We were kind of playing it right you.
Yes, is going to dinner at 8:30, like when all the stuff at SALT is over. On the schedule that he sent me, he has dinner like 8:30. I think we need to eat right there. I'm just saying.
Okay, well that would probably be great for SALT because they would love that, and so would the fans and the viewers that are coming out to see you. So again, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Make sure you check out this phenomenal actress, philanthropist, mother. Matter of fact, I want to get into that real quick though. Mother, she's got hubby, your hubby, Brian, son Christian. How long have you been married?
I have been, I'm not totally sure. So I get this wrong every year. But I believe that December 23rd, I know that part. I believe we were married for 13 years, but we've been together 16.
Okay.
And my 10.
Oh my gosh, okay. So
he's my baby.
Very similar though, because I have a 6-year-old. So.
Oh, I'm still alive. Look at you. Wait till he gets.
I keep saying that my baby's 7. Lord, help me. Do you get 6 questions? Because I get 6 questions. You don't?
What'd you say?
do you get sex questions asked? I said, because I do already.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
YouTube.
Oh, I said, what the world? My mom's like, what do you say?
My son's like the lady since he's about 5 years old. So yes. Wait till he gets older. And the question and the development of their personality, they become these big personalities. You go, when did you become a human being? Where's my baby? Where do we go? You're like a whole human.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't even know how to feel about that.
And because of that, that's why I got a dog for Christmas, because I said this thing is gonna stay this little and she'll always be my baby. But you, my friend, are growing up
too fast too. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, and it's great. But my son asked me last night. He said, if you could shrink me, I'm not even kidding. Last night he was in bed. He said, if you could shrink me back down to 2 years old, would you do it? I said, absolutely, in a heartbeat. Or I want to do it all again. He is a delicious human being.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, she's a miss. Amazing and a miss. But again, Jazsmin Lewis, thank you so much for being on The Blend, and we certainly appreciate you. Looking so forward to hanging out with you practically all day Friday. So,
yeah,
Girls' Day in the wind. I hope you got some winter for all of us.